You don't lose because you're weak. You lose because you let your emotions control your actions. And the moment your feelings start driving the wheel, your future starts swerving off the road. If you don't master your emotions, they will master your potential. Comment, "I master my emotions." If you know your future depends on it. Emotion is powerful, but only when it's controlled. Uncontrolled emotion is chaos. It's the silent killer of potential, the dream destroyer dressed as passion. You think you're being real, but really you're being reactive. Real power is calm under fire. You can't dominate your life if every setback dominates your mood, if every opinion triggers your confidence, if every delay weakens your drive. That's not power. That's permission. You're giving the world permission to decide how you show up. You want to be unstoppable? Then control your state. Get out of bed when your feelings say sleep. Speak with strength when fear whispers silence. That's the difference between leaders and followers. One commands themselves, the other waits for comfort. Life is pressure, but pressure is nothing to the disciplined. Emotional maturity doesn't mean you never feel, it means you never fold. Let it hit you, let it burn, but never let it break your focus. You don't master your emotions once. You master them daily, in every conversation, every delay, every insult, every storm. It's not about suppression, it's about submission. Submit your emotions to your vision, not your vision to your emotions. Every reaction you give away is energy stolen from your future. Every angry outburst, every emotional spiral, every dramatic exit, it's not expression, it's self-sabotage. The strongest version of you doesn't react, it responds with precision. You don't train to feel better, you train to be better, and better means discipline over drama, focus over feelings, progress over pity. That's the mindset of a winner. That's how you build emotional armor. Your emotions will lie to you. They'll tell you it's time to quit when you're just getting started. They'll whisper that you're not enough when you're one action away from breakthrough. You must choose truth over impulse, vision over emotion. You've got to be bigger than the moment, bigger than the insult, bigger than the chaos. Don't shrink into rage or collapse into sadness. Stand still, breathe, then move with intention. That's strength. That's power most people never touch. People respect the one who stays composed in a storm. They follow the one who doesn't flinch under fire. Emotional control is rare, and rare is valuable. You want to lead? Then start by mastering the one person you have full control over yourself. Every time you control your reaction, you sharpen your identity. You prove to yourself that you are not your mood, you are your mission. And your mission requires a mind that cannot be shaken. Most people never reach their potential because they're too busy negotiating with their emotion. They ask their feelings for permission instead of telling them the plan. That's why they start strong and disappear when it gets hard. You don't need motivation. You need mastery. Mastery of your reactions, mastery of your patterns, mastery of the voice in your head that tells you take it easy today. That voice is not your friend, it's your test. When someone disrespects you, your instinct might be to fire back. Don't let your results speak. Let your silence echo. Let your progress become the loudest noise in the room. Emotionally weak people fight for attention. Disciplined people let success do the talking. The enemy of your future is not outside you. It's the version of you that acts out instead of leveling up, that flinches instead of focusing, that panics instead of planning. Kill that version. Replace it with someone who moves with calm fire. Do not be addicted to drama. Do not be addicted to being triggered. That addiction costs more than you know. It costs respect, momentum, and clarity. Emotional control is not coldness, it's command, and command wins battles before they even begin. You'll know you're growing when peace becomes your weapon, when you smile in the middle of chaos, when you stop needing to prove your worth and just embody it. Master your emotions, or be mastered by your environment. Let me tell you something simple but brutal. Success doesn't care how you feel. It rewards consistency, not mood swings. It opens doors for those who keep showing up, even when the fire inside has gone cold. Your emotions are real, but they are not reliable. They shift like the wind. If you tie your destiny to your feelings, you'll live your life in circles, one emotional storm after another. Control the wind, or you'll keep crashing. Winners aren't emotionless. They're emotionally mature. They feel anger, but don't lash out. They feel fear, but don't freeze. They feel doubt, but still execute. That's the difference. They feel, but they don't fold. You must become the thermostat, not the thermometer. Stop reflecting the temperature of your environment. Set it, control it. Be the one who shifts the room by walking in, not the one who dissolves when the room gets loud. Discipline starts where emotion stops. You don't get up at 5 a.m. because you feel like it. You get up because the version of you that has what you want, they don't sleep through opportunity. They command the morning. They run the day. When emotion rises, ask yourself, does this serve my purpose? If not, drop it. Let it go. Not everything deserves a reaction. Some things deserve your silence, your composure, and your continued dominance. The world will test you, not with explosions, but with tiny cuts, delays, disrespect, doubt, and it's watching how you respond. If you crack every time, you stay stuck. But if you stay solid, you start winning. Mastery begins when you stop taking things personally. Not every comment needs a comeback. Not every situation needs your energy. Save your fire for the future you're building, not the battles you've outgrown. You want to rise? Then stop explaining yourself to people who don't operate on your level. Silence is strength. Self-control is power. And walking away without a word, that's dominance in its purest form. You've got to walk through your days like you're untouchable, not because you don't feel pain, but because your purpose is bigger than the pain. Most people run from pressure. You walk through it like it's training. The person who wins is not the one who screams the loudest. It's the one who stays focused while everyone else loses their mind. Be that person. Be the one with the eyes that don't flinch, the breath that stays calm, the steps that stay moving. You were not born to chase emotional highs. You were born to carry a standard, and that standard must be enforced even on your worst days, especially on your worst days. You want emotional strength. Stop treating your feelings like facts. Just because you feel like quitting doesn't mean you should. Just because you feel disrespected doesn't mean it's time to explode, control everything, or lose everything. Your emotions were meant to be signals, not steering wheels. They were designed to alert you, not direct you. When you let them drive, don't be surprised when you crash into regret, missed opportunities, and broken relationships. Success doesn't follow emotion. It follows execution. You want more? Then train your mind to keep going, even when your heart is tired. That's the difference between amateurs and professionals. One needs a feeling, the other runs on decision. There's a reason the world bows to calm leaders. They don't move from panic. They don't scream for power. They command it with presence. And presence is only born in the furnace of self-control. You want to be taken seriously? Then move like someone who's already arrived. No emotional breakdowns over small delays. No public pity parties. Just quiet, ruthless commitment to your mission. You must be bigger than the mood of the moment. The mood will pass, the consequences won't. Emotional control is the gatekeeper of long-term power. Discipline is forged in discomfort, and emotional control is the blade. Every time you resist the urge to react, you sharpen it. Every time you choose silence over chaos, you strengthen it. Every time you keep moving while others break, you own it. Your legacy is not built in the highlight reel. It's built in the quiet moments when no one is watching and everything inside you wants to quit. But you don't, because you made a decision. I control my mind. My mind does not control me. You just got to stop giving your emotions the microphone. That inner voice that says, what if you fail? What if they laugh? What if you said, not enough? Silence it. Replace it with command. What if I win? What if I dominate? What if I was born for this? You won't always feel powerful, but you can always act powerful. That's what pros do. They don't wait for motivation. They generate it through motion, through repetition, through unwavering self-respect. Think of the strongest people you know. They aren't loud. They're stable. They're consistent. They don't flinch when insulted. They don't crack when tested. That's what real emotional mastery looks like, and it's not optional if you want to win. So ask yourself, are your reactions building your future or breaking it? Are your feelings pushing you forward or pulling you back? Most people think emotions are the enemy. They're not. Weakness is, and weakness comes when you let your emotions lead instead of learning how to lead through your emotions. You're not here to erase feeling. You're here to master response. Feel fear? Good. Move anyway. Feel anger? Good. Channel it into action. Feel doubt? Let it sharpen your preparation. Your emotions are tools, not excuses. Use them. Don't worship them. The world respects those who are emotionally stable, who don't collapse under pressure, who don't fold when their plan hits resistance. Every time you hold your ground, you teach the world how to treat you. Power doesn't need to scream. It doesn't need to prove itself. Power just moves, with certainty, with clarity, with calm. You want to win long term? Move like a mountain, not a leaf. When life pushes you, don't push back emotionally. Push back structurally, with routines, with boundaries, with unstoppable action. That's what makes you dangerous. You don't just react. You respond with results. The ones who succeed aren't those who feel less. They're the ones who react less and execute more. Control yourself or the world will control you. You can't build an unshakable life with a shaky mind. Every emotional breakdown you entertain is a withdrawal from your future. Every time you let your feelings win, you delay your breakthrough by another day. Control doesn't mean suppression. It means redirection. Take the chaos inside and aim it. Turn it into laser focus. Turn it into silence that builds. Turn it into the fire that fuels your next level. People will test you. Life will provoke you. But your emotional response is always your decision. The moment you realize this, you become untouchable. Calm becomes your armor. Focus becomes your language. And silence becomes your dominance. If you're constantly reacting, you're constantly bleeding energy, drained, distracted, defeated. But when you master stillness, the world slows down. You move faster while everything else loses pace. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel strong. Stop waiting to feel focused. Be the one who acts like it's already done, because feelings follow motion, not the other way around. Your next level won't open for an emotionally weak version of you. It's guarded by stress, it's protected by trials, and it only opens for those who stay composed under pressure. The battlefield isn't out there. It's in your mind. Every day you wake up and either conquer your state or be conquered by it. And if you lose the first fight, the one in your head, you've already lost the day. Stop looking for peace outside of you. It starts in how you carry yourself, in how you speak to yourself, in what you allow to stay in your mind unchecked. Discipline your inner world or your outer world will keep falling apart. You don't need more chances. You need more control. You don't need perfect conditions. You need perfect composure. The person who can keep their mind steady while everything shakes, that's the one who wins in the end. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them leave. But don't let your emotions guide your path. Let your standards do that. Let your vision do that. Let your execution do that. Again and again. The people who last are not the most emotional, they're the most consistent. The ones who keep showing up, even when it feels pointless. The ones who don't scream their pain, they channel it. You want to be respected? Then stop being reactive. Build the habit of being unshakable. Calm is not weakness. It's quiet warfare. They'll say you're cold. They'll say you don't care. They'll say you've changed. Let them, because the version of you that lets every comment sink in, every insult sting, every delay shake your soul, that version wasn't built to last. When you start mastering your emotions, the world gets confused. You stop over-explaining. You stop reacting. You stop needing validation. And to people who thrive on your weakness, that silence is terrifying. This is the truth. Every strong man or woman you admire, they didn't get there by crying through the storm. They got there by focusing through it, by breathing through it, by moving forward while others broke down. Make your emotional control louder than your voice. Let your restraint speak volumes. You don't need to clap back. Let your life respond. Let your results silence. Every critic, let your elevation create distance. You weren't meant to drown in every wave that hits. You were built to ride the wave and own the tide. Emotional mastery doesn't mean it hurts less. It means you move anyway. That's where power is born, in motion, not emotion. When you're in control of yourself, nobody else is. That's the secret. That's the threat. That's the quiet power most will never touch because they're too addicted to being noticed. The strongest people in the world are not loud. They are still. They don't announce their moves. They don't react to noise. They move like warriors, focused, grounded, and in command of themselves. You want to build an unbreakable life? Start with emotional discipline, because talent without control is wasted. Intelligence without restraint is dangerous, and ambition without stability is self-destruction dressed as potential. People with emotional mastery don't need revenge. They have results. They don't chase attention. They draw respect. They don't perform. They dominate quietly. Why? Because their focus is too expensive to spend on nonsense. You don't need to explain why you didn't react. Let the silence speak. You don't need to argue to prove you've grown. Let the discipline show. And you don't need to clap back to prove you're strong. Your composure is the proof. The old you would have snapped. The old you would have spiraled. But the version you're becoming, they nod, they walk, they build. Because power has no time for pettiness. When you walk in emotional alignment with your purpose, you don't just protect your peace, you multiply your power. Your ability to stay calm when everything around you is falling apart, that's your real strength. That's what separates warriors from warriors, fighters from flinchers, leaders from followers. There's power in not reacting, in not giving away your fire to foolishness. Every time you hold your peace, you build spiritual muscle. Every time you let go of drama, you reclaim your energy, and energy is the currency of champions. You've got to ask yourself, am I reacting to prove something, or am I responding to build something? Because one is ego. The other is elevation, and you can't have both. Emotional chaos is a trap. It keeps you spinning while your dreams drift out of reach. You think you're expressing yourself, but you're just delaying your destiny. You don't need emotional release. You need emotional order. There will always be something trying to pull you out of character, an insult, a delay, a disappointment. But your self-mastery must be louder than the noise. That's the level where power lives. You don't owe anyone a reaction. You owe yourself a future, and that future is expensive. Don't bankrupt it trying to win emotional battles that were never yours to fight. Every time you control your emotions, you send a signal to the world. I am not to be moved. I am not to be manipulated. I am not for sale. And that kind of presence, it's magnetic, it's rare, it's powerful. You become dangerous the moment you stop needing a reaction and start choosing your response. That's when you shift from being emotionally reactive to strategically unstoppable. The people who shake empires don't scream. They plan. They don't argue. They build. They don't panic. They prepare. That's the mindset that separates ordinary from legendary. Master your face in conflict. Master your breath in chaos. Master your words in pressure. That's not faking it. That's forging it. You're not hiding emotion. You're honoring the future over the moment. You've seen what happens when you live emotional. Now try living intentional. Let every emotion pass through the gate of your discipline. Only let through what serves your mission. At the highest levels, self-control isn't optional. It's the price of access. And once you pay it, you start to see the doors open that feelings would have slammed shut. This is the truth. Most people avoid. You will never master your life until you master your emotions. That's the final gate. Not talent, not intelligence, but emotional discipline. And very few ever pass through. You don't rise because you're lucky. You rise because you're stable, because when chaos came, you didn't flinch. When betrayal came, you didn't collapse. When fear whispered, you didn't listen. That's how you rise, with calm defiance. Emotional strength is a choice. It's a daily decision to respond with power instead of reacting with weakness. And that decision, it shapes your identity, It becomes your advantage in every room, in every deal, in every battle. Let them call you cold. Let them call you distant. Let them say you've changed, because they don't understand what it takes to walk through fire without screaming. They don't know what it means to burn and still move forward, composed and focused. There will come a moment where you'll feel like reacting, like lashing out, like giving in. And when that moment comes, you'll remember this: your destiny is too important to be sacrificed for a few seconds of emotional release. If you've made it this far, drop a in the comments. It means you're not just listening, you're transforming. You're part of the 1% that doesn't just feel but masters.